Hello everyone, welcome back to Dragon Age 2. So, we are in the city of Kirkwall, and we just met this guy, who's the guy who was telling the story before, and we are going to do some stuff. I'm very good at summarizing. Right. I must say, I'm not a fan of the way the journal's organised. How much money do I actually have? Okay, like nothing. Okay. I'm broke. Right. What's on the map? Sebastian. Cassian, that's me. Okay, but like... the Chantry, the Blooming Rose. Leave area. Bodan. Bodan? Is he gonna be like our shop guy again? Merchants Guild, Hightown Square, Market, Olaf's Armory, Red Lantern District, Leave area, Viscount's Way, Leave area. Okay, now. Will it show us where to go? No, okay. Well, if that's Hightown, then I guess Lowtown would be outside the area, so... let's just have a wander.
You want daggers? Got them too.
Right, but I'm really poor, so... yeah. I can sell stuff to this... oh wait. Okay, I'm too broke to afford anything right now, so...
You don't seem to like your brother very much.
And here I thought it took blood magic to read minds.
I had a twin brother, Carver. He used to nail my braid to the bed while I was sleeping. I never thought I'd miss him this much.
Sorry about your brother. Hey, you want mine? I got a spare.
Hawk, long time no see, my friend.
Worthy, when did you get back into town?
Oh, just a month or so ago. Things didn't work out in Orzammar. You aren't still working for Athenril, are you? Your year must be up by now.
Still trying to ferret out everyone's business, I see.
Of course. How else do you expect a dwarf to make a living? I'll tell you what. I still have my old contacts. You need some rune crafting done, I can arrange it for you. Take care, Hawk. Don't get dead.
Rune of Protection requires 1 lyrium. I do not have any lyrium. But that has unlocked crafting for us, it looks like. If we leave area, will it take us to... ah. Haha. I have to say, the load screens in this game are much more interesting to look at than the ones in Origins. Wow, there's a lot of things.
Do you ever wish you lived in Orzammar?
Great ancestors, no. You know what Orzammar is? It's cramped tunnels filled with thug shit and body odor. And every person there thinks he's better than you because his great-great-great-grandfather made a water clock or something.
But they're your people. Don't you even wonder what it would be like?
I have a good imagination. Why would I waste it on that?
Lady Elegant.
My. If it isn't Hawk.
Good to see you again, Elegant.
Lady Elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still in Athenral's employ. Things have been going well since then?
Could be better. Could be worse.
I often feel the same way. You may recall I sometimes provided potions for Athenral. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
Nice. So we can potion now. Well, I have no resources, so I guess I'll have to wait.
Gather round, all. I bring you a priceless treasure. From the highest heights of Mount Davarus is travelled.
Statuettes.
A pouch of Andraste's
Oh, I miss you, Alistair.
verified by the scholars.
Hey, adventurer, come replace your old crap.
My crap, huh? I mean, I guess it kind of is. But I'm broke, so... yeah. I guess there's no gift system in this game, so...
I have a volunteer.
Come, sir. Don't be shy.
Ooh. But I'm broke. Hanged man.
That's enough. Clear out, you charlatans.
Shove off, you.
Excuse me? We don't have any warriors in our party yet. But,
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter.
Dog.
Their eldest.
okay, I'm still broke. Ah, but this is where... so like all the shops and stuff, I guess. Hey
He
dog.
wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
Come on, let's play Fetch the Invisible Ball.
Poor thing. Maybe he'd be happier if we brought him with us more often.
Dog!
But if he's with us, Who'd keep Gamlen's debt collectors away?
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
I'm going to give him a proper name. Not Kai, because that's my warden's dog. What dogs do I know? I want it this again. I want it to be like fantasy, but not too out there. Like Kai was a great name for a fantasy dog, but let's just go back and name our dogs after Avatar characters again, because why not? Who has a cool name? I'm trying to think, but I've gone blank. I'm just gonna sit here for forever trying to think of a name for this dog. Fun times. Actually, you know what? Actually, no. That doesn't really suit a dog, though. You know what? I'm gonna name it after a dog that I knew in real life. It's not the most fantasy name in the world, but brings back good memories. Hawk, your year's up and you're free to go. Despite what you think, we had a good thing working together. I might pass along an opportunity or two if you're willing to get your hands dirty. Stay safe. Athenril. Greetings. You do not know who I am, but I've heard from you. I understand you might need items from my collection, as well as the means to obtain them. I do not extend this invitation to anyone, but you are not simply anyone, are you? Consider this an invitation to the Black Emporium. Enclosed are directions through the passages underneath the city, as is the charm to enter. If you give the charm to another, its permission will immediately be revoked, and the consequences will be unpleasant. Adieu, Xenon. Ugh, my headphones are having a connection problem. Keep crackling. I don't know if it comes through on the video, but not good.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
You mean this is real? No wonder I can't wake up.
And here I thought that Ferelden you ran off with was a mage, not a jester. Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about it?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in short pants, lad. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Sounds like a yes to me.
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
You didn't take your parents' will.
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Lovely.
So, I hate thinking badly of family. But did Uncle Gamlen seem a little slippery when he talked about Grandfather's will? If he, say, invested money that was meant to be Mother's, do you think he would tell us?
Gamlen can't say good morning without lying twice.
Mother's been in such a fit of melancholy since Gamlen told her how angry her parents were about Father. She told me she wishes she'd died with Carver. It's like coming here ruined every good memory of her childhood. I wish we could get some of it back.
When this Deep Roads expedition comes through, we can buy her home back, move to Hightown.
Gamlen told me he gave the estate as payment to some slaver who beat him at dice. Apparently, our ancestral home is now a base for slavers from all over Thedas.
Gamlen couldn't have just sold himself and saved us all the trouble.
Can you just imagine him sweeping and scrubbing for some Tevinter matriarch? Seriously though, those scum have no right to our family's things. We should break in there. Get the will for Mother. I already talked to both of them about this. Gamlen said they guard the front entrance well. But Mother gave me her old key. She said it should unlock the cellar. Apparently the sewers run right beneath the house.
All right. Oh wow. There's wow, a lot of. Oh, this is the DLC room, I guess. My inventory's full. What? Damn. I'm taking it. Anders? We get Anders in this game? Yes! Oh my god, I'm so excited now. I loved him in Awakening. Oh, for... You know what, let's just get rid of all these. That looks absolutely ridiculous. I already know my inventory management is going to be absolutely shit, so, yeah. King Marek's helm. Doesn't Alistair have that? 98? Gee. This DLC stuff is making me loaded. Where do I get more inventory space? That's what I want to know. Because having 50 inventory is a bit shit. God, there's so much stuff. I'll have to come back for this. Might have the Sten. Blood Dragon armor. Wow, this is like all the stuff I had. I had a bunch of that stuff that was stuff I had. What's in here?
Looks like the dog's trying to tunnel his way out of this hovel. Can't blame him. I can't have Mother living in this hole. We've got to get out of here.
Gamlen Amel, payment is not 2 months late, Sarah. Interest accrues, as you are well aware. You will find yourself barred from our establishments unless payment is made. Think. No better card sharp or numbers runner in Kirkwall will deal with you. I certainly hope this matter is attended to before steps are taken. Let us avoid further unpleasantness. Gallard.
I think this is the same cheese that was here a year ago.
So this guy takes terrible care of himself. Figures. Alright. I can't have Abilene yet, apparently. Let's go to... Wait. Okay, I'm an idiot. Yeah, let's go to the pub while we're here. Get sandwich.
Are you really not afraid of apostates? Not even a little?
Sunshine, I'm a dwarf, in case you missed that detail.
Dwarves aren't completely immune to magic, you know.
No. I meant there are
So these
30
swords look
people
absolutely
in this town who
ridiculous.
murder my family over trade deals. Who has time to worry about apostates with
Hey,
a
who are
merchant's
you?
guild breathing down your neck?
In that case, I see.
Wait, I'm confused. Where's the... God, this is so confusing. Why is the map such like a nondescript shade of grey? Oh, oops. Did not mean to do that. Well, Varric, what do you got?
So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the deep roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
Any entrance would do, wouldn't it? Unless a dragon's sitting in it, I suppose.
We need an entrance that's close to our destination, but isn't already plundered or filled with darkspawn. Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
A Grey Warden, huh?
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight darkspawn. They forge into the deep roads all the time. And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those who do.
Are there any other options?
None at the moment. Bartrand had an entrance lined up, but it was a bust. I'll keep looking, but if we don't find something, we'll have a fancy expedition with nowhere to go.
Sounds like you have it all planned out, Varric.
And that, Messer, is why I'm here. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talked to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
Alright.
It took decades for the other bloods to
That's the wrong button.
Your family used to be noble, right?
By some definition of the term.
Do you ever wonder what your life would have been like if you were still nobles?
Sunshine, nobility is just an expensive lifestyle. I've already got one of those.
Nobles have power too, and responsibilities.
Estates, servants, investments, mercenaries, assassins. We've still got all those things. It's sunnier here, and nobody calls me my lord. I think I can live with that.
This is ominous. That looks like Shale, but it's just a golem.
Customer. Thaddeus, stand straight. places, everyone. Welcome to the Black Emporium.
So there's an art exhibition. I mean, I'd love to, but my inventory's full, so... Though that said, I could probably equip some of my party members now, so... That's trash. And that's also trash.
Take what you like.
What do we got? We should level up.
No charge. No charge, Thaddeus.
I'm not going to read all of these out. I don't think my voice could take that.
You hear me?
I could sell some stuff. We just need to level up some more.
Those rare, enchanted.
Yeah, I'm broke.
Oh, the prizes of my collection.
Oh, I can change my appearance using that. That's pretty cool. How do I... I don't know. I'm pretty happy with...
You can never.
Wait. Ah, there was a mention of Brother Genitivi in there.
Don't manhandle the urchin. He's not for sale.
Okay, let's be out of here. What's in Darktown? Oh, this reminds me of like Arcane. God, I love that show. It's so good.
Tom Wise?
Huh? Oh, Hawk. Haven't seen you since we did that job together for Athenra. Been a while.
Why do all the elves' faces look so deformed?
Into the deep roads, and right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
We can't all make a living in the Undercity.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? Athenral's scarce these days, and the coterie have their own mixers. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right?
So that's poisons. but we have no resources, so... Huh? The hell? Wow, these swords are overpowered. Even if they look really dumb. I really need more backpack space. But I can't.
Can't we talk about this? No?
Oh, great. Anything I can interact with down here?
I imagine Orzammar is like this, only with beards and an overwhelming sense of superiority.
But does the... Okay, whatever. That's not that much better than what I already have. Hello? Brother Genitivi. He's been all over, huh? So, gather your party.
I think this is the cellar door.
Why is our estate in Darktown? Seems a bit of a terrible place to live if you're a noble.
Get ready!
Okay.
That's enough!
Oh, for God's sake, what? I don't really like how they've just reused a lot of the Origins soundtrack in this. It's a bit odd. Because this game has a very different vibe. Storeroom.
At least it's not boring.
Probably a lesson here about the dangers of magic.
Don't have any shield users yet, so shields are useless. Spiders? I just need to level up, and then I'll actually be able to use a lot of this stuff. My poor as hell inventory management. Coming back to it. Oh shit. It's only slightly better.
I don't like the looks of this. All set. That should do it.
That's the vault. Everything we want to know about our family is inside.
I need some stuff that I can sell. Why can't you put helmets on people? This sucks. Well, it's just worse, so...
This is it. Grandfather's will. Mother needs to see this as soon as possible.
I still want to look around.
All right, but hurry.
Ah, we're here. Okay. I guess we should, this means we should go back to,
Nothing to see here.
Lowtown. Where even are we? Me and my wonderful sense of direction.
Nothing new today.
What's in the barrel? Useless items. Great.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Hello there.
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
He forgave you, Mother. Grandfather left you everything. Here, read it.
I should maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make her willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Oh, she's a fighter. She is a fighter. Right. Now what? I hate how the music stops when you open your journal. That's not what I want. Here, boy.
Come on, boy. This is no time to play dead.
But why can't we take him with us? I want a dog companion. Or can I summon him? I think I can summon him. Right. I feel like my hawk is going to be the literal embodiment of be gay, do crime. I have a feeling.
So, a Lady Sunshine, what's your first act as a noblewoman going to be?
A noblewoman with no fortune and no title. Looking for work, probably.
Practicality is for peasants. Now we fight! You need to do something frivolous to celebrate your birthright.
Such as...
Come on. Plain bitter, there's no Orlesians.
What will I do then?
Insist on blatantly copy and demand royalty. A good noble always has a complaint ready, Sunshine.
Nice work.
Maybe later, darling.
Those charlatans won't be bothering anyone again.
Did you say something? I didn't hear you. And clumsy me. I seem to have dropped a coin purse in your hand.
Alright, now what? I guess we should go and find the Grey Warden, who is over there.
If you're seeking aid, leave your name with my girl. We serve everyone here. No one came from Ferelden without trouble. But I can't give priority to anyone who's already found work and lodging.
I hear you know where I can find a Ferelden Grey Warden.
Only Ferelden Grey Warden I've heard of is sitting on the throne. We're out of the Blight's path now. Why would you need a warden?
The healer was one of them once, wasn't he? A warden?
Well, he's not now, and busy enough without answering fool questions about it.
Who are you protecting?
You see what our people face in Kirkwall. They have no jobs, no homes. Most can barely buy bread. This healer, he serves them without thought for coin. He's closed their wounds, delivered their children. He's a good man. I won't lose him to the blighted Templars.
Is he a mage?
You mean he's a mage?
Would I stick my neck out for some purveyor of hensbane and leeches?
We would never turn someone over to the Templars, mistress. Never.
He doesn't want to be locked in the gallows just for using the gifts the Maker gave him.
Your healer is in no danger from me.
No maid should suffer for an accident of birth.
I suppose it isn't my secret to keep. Anders has certainly been free enough with his services.
Of course.
Refugees in Darktown know to find the healer, look for the lit lantern.
Of course it's Anders.
If you have need enough, Anders will be within.
Oh, he can hold his own alright.
Yesterday.
Oh my god, I get to see Anders. I'm honestly so excited. He was so great in Awakening. He was easily the best character. God, I'm so excited. Okay. I'm gonna go find Anders. Clinic in Darktown, right.
Hey, we heard you in there asking about the healer. We know what happens to mages in this town, and it ain't gonna happen to him.
Look, we're Ferelden's just trying to keep out of the Templar's sight, same as you.
Ferelden? But your clothes. I figured you for a Kirkwaller, sorry. Maker bless the rule of our King Alistair.
King Alistair and Queen Elisa. Though, has she disappeared by this point? I don't know, it didn't say in the epilogue of Awakening when that actually happens. I think she's disappeared by the time of Inquisition, if I'm right, but who knows. I know very little about these things. Anders, where are you, my dude? I'm going the wrong way.
Picking through the droppings of Hightown.
Is this a bit of a modern situation? There he is. What the?
I have made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
I'm just here to talk.
We're interested in getting into the deep roads. Rumor has it you were a warden. Do you know a way?
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat. Or Sir Pouncelot. He hated the deep roads.
I did no such thing. As it happens, Queen Elisa is an animal lover, and she loves cats too.
You had a cat named Sir Pouncelot in the deep roads?
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes. I'm here because there's no warden outpost, no darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
I've always heard that joining the wardens is for life.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
I'm part of an expedition into the deep roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted deep roads again.
Oh, same.
You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested. Although, a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal? You help me, I'll help you.
Let's be more specific. I don't do anything involving children or animals.
I have a warden map of the depths in this area. But there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend. A mage. A prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Carl through a maidservant in the gallows. Then the letters stopped coming.
Tell me about your friend.
His name is Carl Thekla. He was sent here from Ferelden when Kirkwall Circle required new talent. His last letter said the Knight Commander was turning the Circle into a prison. Mages are locked in their cell, refused appearances at court, made tranquil for the slightest crimes. I told him I would come.
Are these accusations true?
Ask any mage in Kirkwall. Over a dozen were made tranquil just this year. The more people you ask, the worse the rumors become.
You've convinced me. What's your plan?
I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Carl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free.
Oh my god, it's Anders. Though I would never make him get rid of his cat. I would never. Or maybe after I left, I guess, people were like, oh no, cats. Which, you know...
Freedom.
Dog people are always like, oh no, cats are so... Where am I going? Are these like other places? Hello?
You there, Ferelden. I wish to speak with you.
What do you want?
I've heard you have dealings with certain elements in the city. You can get things done on the sly, as they say.
That's a fancy way to put it.
I am a magistrate in this city, and as such, I wish to hire you for a small, albeit important, job. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city. I'd like you to retrieve the fugitive and hand him over to the guard.
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
We're both intelligent people. There's something in the ruins, isn't there?
There is something, yes. There are creatures in the ruins. The guards I sent are ill-equipped to deal with such beasts.
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid, you'll have the gratitude of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
If you say so.
Sebastian, stop this madness. The Chantry cannot condone revenge, Sebastian.
It is my right, my duty, to show these assassins there is nowhere in the Free Marches to hide.
Love a Scottish person.
Is murder.
No. What happened to my family was murder.
What was that all about? What was I doing? We should go and talk to Aveline.
Vivian will be devastated if I don't find Kathy. It's a ruse. You can't miss the keep. It practically screams nothing fun ever happens here.
Knocked my mic.
Messiah, please stop kicking the wall.
Who are you to talk to me like that, you bloody peasant?
guard who'll throw you out if you kick that wall one more time.
Kirk wall? Kick wall?
Good day, Sarah.
Ha ha ha. Door. Door. Evelyn, hey.
Aveline.
Hello, Hawk.
That's it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bartrand. He's a son of a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
A person in your position seems like they might learn some profitable things.
You know better than to ask that.
One day you'll be frustrated enough to go for it.
It's like I'm sitting on my hands. There are dangerous people in this city. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
Seems like Kirkwall suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Caleb.
I love that life, but there's a new king for a new Ferelden. Seems cocksure, but I guess he was there when the Archdemon fell. Can't fault an active hand. It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. You and Carver must have felt something similar. I don't know if that's right to say. I barely knew him.
Death on that scale certainly has a finality to it.
Sometimes I wonder.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me. It was just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall. But you don't get used to people losing everything.
It's not how I wanted to say goodbye. I'll say that.
You can't go home again. That's supposed to be about maturity. It's not the same if you don't have the option.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing.
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
You have a name, or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
She sounds like a higher-pitched Claudia Black. Weird.
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
All right, Aveline. I'll play guard for you.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard.
All right. Why did I just pull out my swords? So, I guess there's books to be found that recount the events of Origins. That's actually pretty cool. It's a nice way for like, the events of the last game to affect this one without being too intrusive.
All set.
Not going to happen.
How much longer do I have to wait?
The Viscount must be terribly busy. I've been waiting most of the day.
How much longer do I have to wait?
You're looking well, Sarah.
Thanks, I guess.
I can't do that.
Crap. I want to know more about Tevinter. I mean, it seems like a pretty shit place, but yeah, I want to. We should probably deal with some of these, huh? Let's go to the Chantry and do that thing for Anders. Where actually is the Chantry in relation to here? Okay, it's like forward and then on the left.
Am I the next stop in your career evaluations? Joy of joys.
You watch and you talk. Is that it?
You are dismissing hallmarks of both the utterly ineffectual and the incredibly dangerous.
I don't know what you mean.
It means coins flow when I talk and when I shut up. Like if you got paid to guard or unguard.
That makes no sense.
Good.
Being a guardsman seems like a better life than being a soldier.
Oh?
My brother was a soldier. It's all about taking land and serving some king you've never met. Guardsmen, they do something real. They protect people. They make their lives better.
I don't know if I agree.
Neither would my brother.
Bible. Hi.
Those children. The orphan Fereldans ran off again after we fed them.
I wish they'd let us help them. It'd be better than scraping by on the streets of Darktown.
Dear me, are you here to make a donation? We can always use the help.
Those Canari are a frightening sort. Demons, the
First
whole
of
lot.
the Maker's children
I do
watched
wish
across
that
the
I
veil
could
and
have
were
the
jealous
run.
of the life they could not feel, could not... Much? No, that can't be right.
I'm sorry you had to witness that disgraceful scene by the Chanter's Board. I am Elthina, Grand Cleric of Kirkwall. Sebastian's normally a good lad, but he's had a terrible shock.
Sebastian? Was that his name?
Sebastian Vale. He was affirmed here nearly a decade ago. He had just been invested as a brother when we got the news about his family. I'm afraid he reacted rashly, denied his vows and left the Chantry. If the Maker wills it, he will return to himself before it's too late.
So he's some kind of priest?
He is an initiate of the faith. As a man, he cannot serve as a mother would, but he has led the chant here many times. Before last week, I would have said he was the most faithful of our true believers.
He said someone murdered his family.
Sebastian is the youngest son of the ruling family of Starkhaven. They were overthrown recently, violently. Sebastian is the only surviving member.
He's royalty?
Prince Sebastian Vale, if he succeeds in his pledge to take back his lands. He made a vow to the Maker to put worldly concerns behind him. It is a sin to forswear himself for a mere title.
I think his family deserves to be avenged.
Sebastian would spend his coin to buy men's lives, the same as those who attacked his family. No matter how justified he feels, that is murder. And when he returns, I will tell him so again.
Door? Door.
Please, Maker, take away this burning itch.
There's nothing back here. Hooray. At night. How do we go to the Chantry at night? Is this like a Lego Lord of the Rings type? How do I make it night? Night. Aha. This is pretty cool, actually.
The streets aren't safe at night. We should do something about that.
I saw Carl go inside a few minutes ago. No Templars so far. Are you ready?
I didn't see anyone suspicious out here. Let's do this fast.
All right. I'll handle the talking. You watch for Templars. When we find Carl, just let me talk to him.
Alright, I'm just gonna take 2 seconds because it's getting really dark in here and I need to turn on the light. Okay. Level up. Oh, Aveline. This is the wrong way. I know. My sense of direction is impeccable. Hey.
Anders, I know you too well. I knew you would never give up.
What's wrong? Why are you talking like...
I was too rebellious, like you. The Templars knew I had to be made an example of.
No!
Shit.
How else will mages ever master themselves? You'll understand, Anders. As soon as the Templars teach you to control yourself.
It's a trap.
This is the apostate.
No!
What the...
You will never take another mage as you took him.
Anders, what have you done? Anders.
Anders, what did you do? It's like you brought a piece of the Fade into this world. I had already forgotten what that feels like.
How is he having tone of voice if he's tranquil?
What did you do? Not the Fade part, the angry glowing bit.
It's like a gateway to the Fade inside you, glowing like a beacon.
I have some unique circumstances, yes. But Carl, what happened? How did they get you?
The Templars here are far more vigilant than in Ferelden. They found a letter I was writing you. You cannot imagine it, Anders. All the color, all the music in the world, gone. I would gladly give up my magic. But this... I'll never be whole again.
This is what Mother was protecting me from.
Please, kill me before I forget again. I don't know how you brought it back, but it's fading.
Carl, no.
Maybe we can find a cure.
Can you cure a beheading? The dreams of tranquil mages are severed. There is nothing left of them to fix.
I would rather die a mage than live as a Templar puppet.
I don't know.
The tranquil I've met seem content with their lot. Maybe it's not that bad.
You have no idea. Your emotions, your dreams, everything stripped away on someone's whim. If I were made tranquil, I would wish for a friend compassionate enough to kill me. Carl, I'm sorry.
Now! It's fading! Why do you look at me like that?
Goodbye. We should leave before more Templars come.
What has he done? Has he, like... we don't know what happened to Justice after awakening, because the body he possessed got beheaded, so... has Anders, like, joined with Justice?
So, let me guess. This is the part where you tell me you're an abomination.
You're wrong. But not far wrong. This is hard to explain. When I was in Amaranthine, I met a spirit of justice who was trapped outside the Fade. We became friends, and he recognized the injustice that mages in Thedas face every day.
So he did join with Justice. That looked like a weird... it didn't look like he could really control it, though.
And that's different than a demon?
Just as demons prey on the deadly sins of mankind, there are good spirits who embody our virtues. Spirits of compassion, fortitude, justice. They are the Maker's first children, and they have all but given up on us.
What does this have to do with your eyes glowing?
To live outside the Fade, he needed a host. I offered to help him. We were going to work together, bring justice to every child ever ripped away from his mother to be sent to the Circle. But I guess I had too much anger. Once he was inside me, he changed.
You don't say.
So, you have this spirit of justice living in your head?
It's not like that. He's gone now. He's part of me. It's not like we can have a conversation. I feel his thoughts as my own. Not even the greatest scholar could tell you where I end and he begins.
That really didn't look like a happy, benevolent spirit from where I was standing.
Since when is justice happy? Justice is righteous. Justice is hard.
You tried to help a friend. Surely no harm can come of that?
I wish I still had your innocence. There was too much hatred in me. Justice thought he would overcome that. But my anger, when I see Templars now, things that have always outraged me, but I could never do anything about, he comes out. And he is no longer my friend, Justice. He is a force of vengeance, and he has no grasp of mercy.
Romance. I don't know. I want to look at my options. Because... Because I like Anders. I mean, he's cool, but I don't know if I'd want to romance him. Though I do still intend to be gay and do crime, so, you know.
Can you bring him out at will?
No. He comes only when I've lost all power over myself. It's a madness, a frenzy. I only find out after what I might have done.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You're the first one I've ever told this. Thank you for not running away. My maps are yours. As am I, if you wish me to join your expedition.
Hell yeah.
I thought I was done with the Grey Wardens. But if you have any need of me, I will be waiting here.
Hell yeah, I'm bringing you. Anders. I like my mages. Okay, we should probably deal with some of these, huh?
Outsiders think they can change us.
You show admirable restraint, Bethany. For a mage, you mean? I could also say for a hawk. But yes, for a mage. You have a sword.
This is a rare
Why aren't
gesture.
you killing someone right now?
Fair point, but I can put my sword down.
That's that one.
Believe me, I have tried.
Where to?
These thugs are plaguing the streets. I don't see a problem in giving them the fight they want.
La la la. Dex. Running. Come on. Let's go.
We're under attack. What
Oh,
a
great.
surprise.
Someone's trying to take over at night, but someone else will always pay for their removal.
What's down here? What can I do about equipment? Yeah, that's worse.
More refugees pouring in every day.
You are not enough!
I think I might have to up the combat difficulty. Because this game was so easy. Like, I haven't had to pause during combat like once. What's in the disused passage?
At least it's not boring. Make this not Let's finish this! Order will be
This is a lot more fun. Just was thinking. And this needs a better staff. And he's also leveled up. Fire?
Can't we talk about this? No?
That should do it.
I wonder if Mother has received an audience with the Viscount yet.
Ooh. Though I don't really use archery, so... Bonnie Lamb, the guy from Liliana's song.
You all right?
Want the best? Take it from the worst. Then sell to specialists like you. All...
This guy knows Liliana, that's pretty cool.
He's willing to give a discount.
I don't know if either of my mages can equip it though, because they might not be high leveled enough. Though I don't know.
The people who saved my skin.
Watch your step. Done. I don't think I can do that.
Aw. Need more cunning. Right, where are we? What are we even looking for?
Shock will not see anyone at this hour.
I guess I can only go in there during the day then.
Bugger off.
What's down here? Oh. Daytime.
Avert your eyes.
Excuse me?
So, you were in the circle and ran away? I don't know if I'd be brave enough to do that.
You've been an apostate your whole life.
Exactly. It was never anything I had to work for. Other people always took the risks to keep me free.
Matcha. Who's Matcha? I'm sure she isn't green tea.
Good day to you.
Have you seen it? Please, can you help me? My brother.
What happened to your brother?
Karen was always so devout, so idealistic. He was so proud when the Templars accepted him. I pleaded with him not to join the Order, but he wouldn't listen. You hear dark rumors about the Templars and Knight Commander Meredith. And now my brother is gone.
What do people say about Knight Commander Meredith?
Oh, she has many admirers. They laud the service she does in keeping the mages in check. But others say she is terribly fierce and utterly without pity, that she sees demons everywhere. It is dangerous even to whisper such things.
What have you heard about the Templars?
People harboring escaped mages just disappear. Templars interrogate and threaten passers-by. My friend has a cousin who's a mage, and she says he was made tranquil against his will. You hear more with every passing day.
I'm here to help you. Just tell me what you know.
Karen would write me every day. Then suddenly, no more letters. I wrote him many times with no response. I tried to see him, but Knight Commander Meredith threw me out. They won't tell me anything.
Your brother may indeed be in trouble. What can I do for you?
Perchance, in your journeys, if you find yourself in the gallows, ask the other recruits, Wilmerd and Hugh, about my brother. They were Karen's closest friends in the Order. If anyone knows where he is, it's them. May God bless you and watch after you in this endeavor.
That was Alex Wilton Regan again. God, she's everywhere in these games. Right. Right. And what's the other thing? Help wanted.
Vivian will be devastated if I didn't return.
No loitering.
Citizens of Kirkwall, my dear wife Ninette has gone missing. I shall reward the person who returns her safely. Questions about the bounty on Ninette? Come speak to me in the Hightown Market.
Have you seen my wife, Ninette? What do you mean you can't help me?
This is a domestic matter, Sirrah. If your wife has chosen to leave you, there's nothing we can do.
What is up with his
Ninette
voice?
is my wife. She's legally bound to me. Bring her back.
We're done here.
Useless. Why are we still paying those sluggards?
Your wife is missing. I can try to find her if you like.
Yes. Oh, I have been waiting for someone to say that. That foolish woman has caused me nothing but embarrassment. She needs to be dragged home.
The guards disagree.
They are more disagreeable than my wife. Maybe your friend is more sensible. Her family is getting suspicious. They think I might have done something to her. Even if... Well, I just want to make sure they know I didn't do it.
Why would her family think you did something to her?
They think I married her for her inheritance. And they know we have been fighting. They believe this is reason enough for me to hurt her. But I swear, on Andraste's pyre, I have done nothing.
Do you think Ninette might be in trouble?
It's her own doing. Gallivanting about with men half her age. She's just trying to show me I am tied to her purse strings.
You're more concerned what her family thinks than what happened to her.
Ninette keeps the company of other men. Huh? And makes no secret of it. I'll be better off with her gone. Well, as long as her family knows I had nothing to do with it, they would ruin me otherwise.
I can't imagine why she'd leave you. You're such a prize.
It wasn't always like this. We were in love. She defied her parents to marry me. Sometimes, I wonder if I dreamed those years.
How long has your wife been gone?
About a month. I wasn't worried at first. She's run off before. Ninette is uncontrollable, you see. She comes and goes as she pleases.
You would want to choose your words more carefully, bitch.
You don't even care if your wife's alive or dead. I'm not helping you.
So, you would leave her to die just to spite me? If you reconsider, talk to Jethan at the Blooming Rose. Yes, Ninette visited halls. They even sent her flowers. To our home! And you wonder why I hate her!
Welcome, merchant.
Double standards. I would go on a rant about these things, but... you know.
Welcome to the Hightown Market.
Why do we come here so often?
And here we are in the brothel. My day is complete.
Let's not stay here for long.
If someone here tries to hire me again, I'm leaving.
worry, I'm not planning on staying for long. Let's be out of here, shall we?
I've got your usual ready and waiting for you upstairs, Sarah.
Many thanks, Madame C.
He didn't really ask you to wear a feather boa.
The Anders too are people of
All
interesting.
Asians, darling. You get used to it.
So, you married a Templar, huh?
What of it?
Are they all as dirty as they seem?
What?
Did he ever ask you to play the naughty mage and the hapless recruit? Maybe the secret desire demon and the upstanding knight?
That's disgusting.
I hear it's quite popular.
You people.
Not going to happen.
Where's Liliana when I need her? Or where's my wooden rogue? Gamlin, what are you doing here?
I won't mention this to your mother if you do.
You're a dirty bastard.
Welcome to the Blooming Rose. Personally, I wouldn't say it's blooming precisely, but the name's not my choice. Mead.
The merchandise is up front. I'm gonna work for the coterie when I grow up.
Hold on, what? Oh, I didn't see there was a door here.
Today's my rest day, but I'll make an exception for you. What can I say? Why work if you're not working hard?
I can see why Nanette liked you. You're feisty.
A refreshing change from the pale slug I married. I hear she finally left her worthless husband. Good for her. I just wish she'd said goodbye.
Do you think Nanette has come to harm?
I hope not. Everyone loves Nanette. Sometimes twice a night. Ghislaine's the only one who might hurt her, and he doesn't have the balls for it.
Were you hoping Nanette would leave Ghislaine for you?
Of course not. I know my place. I offer a service, that's all. Anyway, there was someone else looking for Nanette. A Templar. I believe his name was Emmerich. He wouldn't sleep with me either. I can't see why a Templar would be interested in anyone who isn't a mage.
Any chance Nanette's an apostate?
Well, she certainly cast a spell on me.
Ha ha ha. Hilarious.
Anyway, if Nanette was a mage, I think Emmerich would have said so.
Someone else Nanette spent special alone time with, perhaps?
She always liked men in uniform. You could ask him yourself. Emmerich said he'd continue his investigation in Darktown. You could see if he's still there. And if you find Nanette, tell her to drop by and see me sometime.
Was that Mark Mir? I think it was. Just as at the end there, that inflection. I think it was Mark Mir. God, he does so many voices. Right. This loading screen gives me the creeps. Anders, what do you...
Carl was a good mage, a good man. It goes against all Chantry law to make him tranquil.
Why are we traipsing around in human waste again?
This...
That's a bullshit excuse.
I knew this would happen.
We don't want no Templar.
Get back!
Get back! I don't want to hurt you.
With the wrong name. This is my favorite part. I'll cut you good.
I thank you, Syrah, for coming along when you did. I am Emmerich.
You're older than I thought you'd be. Ninette seems to go for the young, pointy-eared sorts.
What? Ghislaine de Carac's wife, Ninette. You were asking about her.
Ah, Ghislaine de Carac's wife. Her disappearance interested me. I tried looking into it. However, the investigation has been a waste of time.
Did you learn nothing?
Most people just say she left her husband. This all started when Maren, one of our circle mages, disappeared. I found it odd. She was a bit older and hardly adventurous. Then I heard about Ninette and 2 other missing women.
And you have doubts that they merely fled?
I think the disappearances are connected, and I suspect foul play is involved.
People don't just disappear. Perhaps they were murdered or kidnapped.
We found no bodies, no ransom notes. Those women just vanished.
Doesn't the Circle use phylacteries to keep track of its mages?
We followed her phylactery to a foundry, but found nothing. I had heard of sympathizers smuggling mages through Darktown, so came here hoping to pick up the trail. But no trace of Maren. And as you've seen, asking the locals hasn't made me very popular.
Mages routinely flee the Circle. Perhaps Maren just wanted freedom.
She had always been loyal. She received lilies from an unknown suitor, and some of us thought she may have gone to meet him. Perhaps her disappearance is linked.
Can I assist your investigation?
It's no longer my investigation, Syrah. You may take over if you wish. This battle showed that I'm no longer the warrior I used to be. I know when to walk away.
He looks like someone
Here,
out of Shrek.
Take my findings. Perhaps you can make more use of them. I'm going back to the gallows. I'm too old for this.
A foundry in Lowtown. I should look into that.
Right. Now what? Okay. God, I hate how everything on the map is like the same color as the map, so like you can't see what anything is. It sucks. Like whose genius idea was that?
Free marchers. Oh shit.
I had a friend like you once. Got in all kinds of trouble. Dragged me along. Didn't think I'd be doing that again. I got a bit weighty the last time we talked. Sorry for putting that on you.
You can tell me anything.
Anything? Be careful what you offer. I hope I didn't seem too selfish when I told you about justice. I didn't know what would happen. I figured a willing host, a friend. It had to be better than playing the demon and haunting some corpse.
At least it got a nice body.
We can't always predict the outcome of our actions. We can only make them with a true heart.
Well, under that scruffy exterior, I think you've got a bit of a soft heart yourself. I'm sorry, I shouldn't presume. We've hardly met and I feel like I know you. Am I making you uncomfortable?
It's unexpected.
Doesn't mean I want you to stop.
I'll keep that in mind. Growing up in the Circle, everything is about order and rules and the Templars. The apprentices, we found ways to make that bearable. Carl and I, he was the first. We could forget that out in the world, we were nothing but Templar slaves. We hadn't been together for a long time. But still, it hurt.
No one should have to go through that.
It's the bloody Templars. They don't see us as people. They don't care that Carl was someone's son, someone's lover. If you're born with magic, they hear about it. They search your little rat-spit village and find you. They tell your parents they'll be thrown in prison if they ever ask about you, stripped of their rights in the eyes of the Maker. And if you run away, they hunt you down. Again and again and again.
You're starting to glow again.
And since yours is the only head here and I don't want to rip it off, I should stop. Yes. Sorry. Besides, we have so much to do before the deep roads. Next time, I'll try to keep to more pleasant topics.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't about to, like, be like, lol, no, because I do like him. But I don't know if I want to romance him, like, just yet. Alright, to the gallows. If I can stop getting stuck on hay, because collision. Yay!
I know it didn't work the way you wanted, but it was brave what you did with Justice.
It was meant well. I don't know if that's enough to forgive me.
Must have been hard for him, being trapped outside the Fade. In a place where no one's like him. I bet he appreciated having a friend.
He did.
And it seems a lot more, like, focused. What's in Lowtown Night? Which quest is that again? Ah.
Every piece of equipment in the Free Marches begins here.
Hello? Great.
Now we fight!
Huh? Oh shit. Demons? Are you serious?
Something is going on here, and I don't like it.
At least it's not boring. Now you fall!
That ring looks Orlesian.
A severed hand, a ring, and a pile of bones. Emmerich will want to see this. And I should bring the ring to Ghislaine. It might belong to Ninette.
So someone killed them, but why? I really should get rid of this, huh? This is way more useful. Now what? Right. headed to the gallows next anyway, so... Where are we? Low town, we need to get to the gallows. I would guess. Okay, I thought my game was gonna crash for a second there, but it didn't, so we're all good.
Justice doesn't let me get drunk anymore. I kind of miss it. Do you ever miss Ferelden?
Of course. It was home. I would never have left willingly. But I'm not going to be my father and spend my life trying to live a memory.
I didn't think I'd...
Recognize your mage?
You're horrible.
This was left in the foundry you mentioned in your notes. I was also attacked by shades.
These are human bones. Then there is no chance of finding Meren alive, or any of the others.
I saw someone leaving the scene, but they got away. I'm sorry.
It was more than I accomplished.
My people have been slow to react, but this needs official support.
I will bring this to the city guard immediately. It should be enough to convince them the disappearances are worth investigating.
Hey guys, what's up?
Do you know a recruit named Karen? His sister is looking for him.
We cannot speak to you, Messer.
Oh, good. We'll just be leaving then. To go somewhere that isn't the gallows.
To the void with that. Karen and the others are missing.
But our orders...
The Knights aren't doing anything to find them. Maybe it's time to ask for outside help.
I wasn't even certain Karen was missing. Who else is gone?
The first ones disappeared weeks ago. There's been at least half a dozen. Wilmot and Karen were the most recent.
Why must you keep silent about Karen?
You obviously aren't a Templar, Messer.
No. No Templars in this family.
A Knight Lieutenant gives you an order and you obey, without question. They told us not to breathe a word about Karen and the others.
They must have their reasons.
And that'll be a great comfort if you go missing next.
You can trust me. I'm only trying to keep Karen safe.
I hear that Knight Commander Meredith has some new initiation you have to go through. If you're not strong enough or fervent enough in belief, you don't make it out alive.
Her own people. That's horrible.
And you honestly believe that?
Recruits keep going missing.
Wilmot came back.
What?
He did. I saw him this morning.
What else do you know about the initiation?
You hear about some questionable things that the Order must do these days. The Knight Commander only wants Templars that can do what must be done.
Andraste alive. She's killing recruits that might question her orders, isn't she?
That's rubbish. She wouldn't do that.
If Wilmot came back, he might know more about the other missing recruits.
I bet he would.
Wilmot told me he was going outside Kirkwall. Clear his head, he said.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Knight Captain Cullen ordered it.
Cullen?
Right before he chased after Wilmot. That wasn't too long ago. If you hurry, you may catch them on the road.
I was wondering why I didn't see him in the tower. Right. I think that's everything here for now, but...
Maker's blessing on you.
Make her watch over you.
God, Brother Genetivi sure does know a lot of stuff, huh? We need to talk to Varric again.
I'm sorry I couldn't get you more information about the Circle, Bethany. It's difficult without naming you.
Thank you for being discreet. I don't want the Templars at my door.
No one does.
Let them corral the troublemakers. I just want information.
Right. Right.
Sounds like I'm trying to convince myself, doesn't it?
I wouldn't have said, but yes.
Hold on, what? Ah.
A little something of yours I picked up somewhere.
You have done a great kindness in returning this.
Now, to the pub. And after that, I'm gonna end this part because it's gone on forever.
You owe us, Isabella.
Well, Lucky, I'll tell you what. Since the information you gave me was worth nothing, that's what I'll pay you.
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing.
Bar fights, that's a given. BioWare games.
Tell me, Lucky, is this worth dying for? I didn't think so.
Okay. Guess we got to talk to her.
My. And here I thought the only men in this place were besotted fools who couldn't hoist the mainsail.
When you talk about hoisting the mainsail, what do you really mean?
What else could it mean? It requires strength, knowledge of rigging, and a small measure of sobriety.
I know my way around rigging just fine. And I'm good with my hands.
Oh my.
I
I'm
shouldn't have picked that
Isabella.
option.
Previously Captain Isabella. Sadly, without my ship, the title rings a bit hollow. You're Ferelden, aren't you? You have that look about you. I was in Denerim not too long ago.
You were?
You know, you might be just what I'm looking for to solve a little problem I have.
I'm always ready to help.
Someone from my past has been pestering me. I've arranged for a duel. If I win, he leaves me alone. But I don't trust him to play fair. I need someone to watch my back.
Who's this person you've arranged to meet?
His name is Hader. We worked together back in Antiva. He's never liked me. He's been asking about me all around Kirkwall. Thought I'd get it over with and meet him face to face.
You wanted information from Lucky. What was it?
I asked Lucky and his boys to track down something I lost. They failed to do it. It's nothing to worry about, and this is much more important.
Why a duel?
I like duels. It's what I do. And if I win, he'll be dead. Problem solved.
What makes you think I'm right for this?
You saw me talking to Lucky, didn't you? Those boys couldn't manage simple information gathering. I can't trust the riffraff in this place to do anything right. But you're different.
Okay.
I think I could manage watching your back.
I'll bet. I've arranged to meet Hader in Hightown after dark. I'll meet you there.
Is she gonna be a companion then? I wonder if I could have met her in Denerim.
So, I've been dying to know. What was going through your head when you fought that ogre?
For the first few seconds, what do they feed those things?
I don't know anyone else that's even seen one. You're lucky just to be standing here. Somehow, Hawk, I imagine things won't be dull with you around. Not that I expect the deep roads to be boring, mind you. Constant threat of doom does tend to keep you awake.
Anything in particular I should know about your brother?
To understand Bartrand, you've got to understand the Dwarven Merchants Guild. These are dwarves who would sell their mothers if they thought it'd get them a better share of the lyrium market. Anyone who deals with them has to sleep with a knife under their pillow. In my family, that's Bartrand.
What are your plans for this trip into the deep roads?
Bartrand's running the show. Andraste's ass, he'd probably do that even if we weren't paying for everything. The tide we're looking for is supposed to be a week's travel from the surface, so I hope you aren't scared of the dark. We've got supplies, muscle, excavators. The plan is to carry out everything that's not nailed down.
If we'll be working together, I should find out more about you.
True enough. I suppose you ought to know my credentials. My family came from Orzammar, noble house Tethras, until my father got caught fixing provings. He and our whole house got exiled. No huge loss. I was born up here. Sunshine suits me just fine.
Are you a merchant? A mercenary?
I'm a younger son. It's a difficult and dangerous profession. A lot of us die of boredom. Fortunately, being Bartrand's younger brother keeps me on my toes. Maker knows he lacks subtlety. I'm the one who pulls strings to keep the coterie out of our hair. Keep us just a whisker ahead of the other families.
What are the deep roads like?
Well, I could tell you the standard tales. Legions of darkspawn, ravenous beasts, cave-ins. I've spent my whole life in Kirkwall. Dangerous enough most days, but it doesn't compare to the deep roads. So, this will be... let's just call it an adventure, I guess.
Great. Now we're adventurers.
Yeah. Alright, now what? I guess next we'll be heading out of of Kirkwall. Apart from this. So yeah. Guys. This has been a really long part, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this here, and I will see you guys next time.